Well, today's project is we're going to see if we can get the rear back under there and get it lined up. When I had it together before I painted the frame, everything was adjusted. The axle was squared up with the frame, the angle for the pinion. I got my angle finder there, you see. I had 2 degrees up. Right now it's at 2.5. And I also have some measurements I wrote down from the mounts for the leaf spring to the backing plate. Was 4 1/4 originally, so I can go by that to get it pretty close. Get it re-centered, keep the angle 2 degrees up. I'm going to put the radius rods back together now and see if they'll touch, and then measure where everything is, whether it's squared up or not. So anyway, let me finish bolting it together and we'll see how it goes. Well, I went to go put the radius rods on first, and had a little bit of trouble. I'll show you right here. When we welded these supports in the middle right here, it actually bent this a little bit in on both sides. So you can see there how much it's off. So what I'm having to do is take this and put it here in the vise and just bend these both out a little bit, just so the bolts will go through nice and easy. We'll get that done. I'll get it mounted to the other side, and then we can square up the rear left and right, front to back square with the front end, and make sure I got enough pinion angle. We can go ahead and tack these mounts on, and then I'll work on the leaf spring mounts after that. Once these are holding the rear in position, we should be okay. I've been working on it for a couple hours. Trying to get the frame level with the rear end level, all shimmed up, get the rear end squared up with the front. Come out pretty good. I'm just getting ready now. I'm going to put some tack welds on it, and hopefully it don't move. Well, yesterday I finished tacking on the mounts you can see here for the leaf spring, and also the mounts for the radius rods. So I went ahead and took the jack stands out from under the frame. So the weight of the frame and everything is sitting on the suspension right now. So the next thing we're gonna do is this panhard bar I got. You see it's connected right there, and down here I gotta weld this onto here again. But before I do that, what I want to do is put a straight edge down from here on the frame on both sides, and then measure out to the backing plate to make sure that the rear end is centered with the frame the way it's sitting right now. So let me get that measured. We'll make sure it's centered, and then I can go ahead and tack on the mount for the panhard bar. And after that, all I got left is the shock mounts. We should be able to take it back apart and start welding everything. Well, that's it for the panhard bar. Now we can't move side to side. The only thing I got left is, you can see right here is the shock mounts on the frame. And I didn't cut the tabs off of the old rear end sitting there. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and get some steel, measure them up, and we'll make some new tabs to weld on there for the shocks. Well, now I got the frame supported in the middle here on jack stands. We can go ahead and start disconnecting everything. The first thing I'm going to do is take off the shocks. Well, I didn't need the jack. I did that side by hand, so I'm going to try to do the same thing over here. If I can lift it and get the jack stand out. Well, I started doing a little bit of welding. I mean, in between I've been just doing little, like an inch or so here, an inch on the other side, letting it cool off. And then while I was letting it cool off, I decided to go ahead and just change the brakes on, leave the axles in it that were in it. So you can see here on this side, I got the brakes apart. I just gotta put the brakes back. That side I got done already. And then, of course, I got a little bit more welding on the brackets. So hopefully, it's getting late today. Tomorrow, I'll hopefully have all the welding finished and the brakes back on. We'll be ready to put it back together. Well, I've been busy between doing a little bit of welding on the brackets and working on the brakes. Today I got the other side done. New set of brake shoes, all the springs, new wheel cylinder, everything's brand new on this side. The drums I had originally cut were off of my old rear end. You can see one of the old ones right here, but you can also see it had some scratches or grooves in it. Somebody had run it down to the rivets, and I didn't want to cut any more out of it. So it turned out that the drums off of the new rear end are the same size and look a hell of a lot better than the other ones did. So let me show you over here. What I did was I put it over here on my antique brake lathe. And you can see right here, I hope you can see it. I cut this groove. You know, there's a little lip right here where the shoes wear inside, and it's hard to get the shoes on to get over this lip. So I went ahead and cut it out. But you can see, even down here, it's nice. This one's smooth, ain't got no scratches in it. It's about the same thickness as the other one, wear-wise. So all I got to do now is take it off of here. We'll put this on. And like I said, I got about an hour's worth of welding to do, and we should be done. Yesterday, I took a road trip. You can see right here, I got the transmission. It's a 2-speed power glide. My friend Anton Morgan at Lightning Quick Glides, he's the same fella that built the power glide from my blown alcohol tea bucket. And that's all he does is pretty much power glides, mostly for drag racing. Like 99% of what he builds is all for drag racing. But he went ahead and built this one for me, and it's stock. So everything will be brand new. I'll give you here's his number here if you're interested. Like I said, Anton Morgan, Lightning Quick Glides, 828-290-5607. Give him a call if you need a power glide. Well, like I said earlier, I got about an hour's worth of welding to do yet on this. I think what we'll do is we're going to end this one here. I'll get the welding finished, and then we'll just start another video putting it back and getting it lined up and putting it back together. Well, I appreciate everybody watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, helps out my channel a lot. And comments, questions, suggestions, always welcome. I appreciate you watching.